Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Cursed Content Fight Club, where we are determining which is worse, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children or Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. With me, as always, is my co-hosts Gladanolus and Bobness from GigaBoots.com.
I'm going to swing in the dark and say, Bob, this podcast started with the search for the finest co-hosts.
Oh no, not that.
And KZ Prompto from KZExcellent.com.
Walk tall, my friends.
I am your host, Emperor Fieldercopt.
I hate you. You had to look up his name.
Yes, I did.
You weren't
I
going to
didn't
remember
fucking know his name.
Eadolus Aldercapt.
Yeah, he's fucking barely a character.
So he's in 15.
No, you see, he has, I think, 5 times more screen time in this movie than he does in that game. Please
Yes!
be excited.
I'm so excited. Is he the king?
Yeah,
He's the evil
emperor
king.
guy.
Oh.
Who you never actually meet in the story because he's already dead. And every time you do see him, he's just melting because, like Joe Biden.
No, they put him in an update later.
Oh, so he's not even in the game originally? You just found his corpse?
I guess we could talk about that now because I'll forget when we're doing the commentary. So there's a part in chapter 13 where you're chased by a tyrant-esque demon throughout. And a patch they revealed that it's him. He just turned into a demon off screen.
What is Final Fantasy 15?
And they show it by showing a giant demon body, but they put his human head on it for 30 frames to show you that's who it was, and it looks like the worst thing I've seen in any game this gen.
Ugh.
Bob, to answer you, they shipped a game that was 40% done.
Yeah. Then they patched it another 20%.
They got another 25% done. After 3 years.
KZ was the optimist.
No, they got like another 10% done.
I'm optimistic about things.
The extra 5%, getting up to 65%. Amazing.
Remember the part in Final Fantasy 15 where you get on the train and go past all the areas they didn't finish?
That was pretty rad. When people told me that was in the game, I nearly lost it.
It was funny because they straight up told people in advance, it's like, we wanted to try 2 gameplay styles here, open world and more the linearity stuff that you guys remember from the classic games. Or the previous entry.
Translation,
So
we got the first chunk done and then we were told to ship.
as Tabata said, the story gets really intense once you head on the train. It becomes more focused. In the last 6 hours of the game.
I think if you didn't do any side quests, that game is like 9 hours long.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe 12.
Yeah, there's a lot of running. Because sometimes they make you go across the map for a couple of things.
But we're getting off track. What are our expectations for Kingsglaive? I'll go first. I've never seen it. I assume this is going to be terrible. Dan.
This is going to be really bad, but probably slightly better than Advent Children. Having watched this only once and that movie approximately 4 or 5 times, I know how boring the dialogue in that is and how the plot doesn't really go anywhere. And I know from having watched this once, this is going to bring a lot of that power. The question is, which one hits harder?
The power of kings.
I feel like vanilla
script.
Oh no! At any cost.
They're slowly like melting. Like, yeah.
He starts blasting plot holes and everything.
Games as a service.
I feel like this might be better than the version of Final Fantasy Advent Children we watched, but it would not be better than the original version that didn't have 25 additional minutes of boy.
His name was Daryl?
Denzel.
Ah, it's already gone.
Guys, I think it was Tinsel.
Oh, that's it.
Bob.
I remember watching this movie when it came out in anticipation for the game and being really upset by how bad it was and really worried about the game.
Yeah.
And then you were right.
I don't think there's any, unlike Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, I feel like that had moments of joy. I don't think there'll be a single one of these in this.
Just Ultros.
I mean, there's Ultros, but he doesn't even talk.
Also, once they put the ring on, it's pretty fucking raw.
There is some raw stuff there.
There's some funny shit in here.
Also
you remember
that.
when this was meant to come out 2 weeks before the game, but then it got delayed?
Wait, when did it come?
No, we got this before the game.
Yeah, we got it before the game because I ended up buying.
Yeah, he means the game got delayed. It was they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were setting it up so you could immediately jump into both almost.
Yeah.
But then the game got delayed 2 months.
Which was frustrating in its own way because the game special edition, you paid extra and got the movie.
Yep.
So
what?
So I had to
what,
cancel
Bob?
my collector's edition and then get the regular so that I could buy the movie early.
Bob, they saved you because
They
God
tried
knows.
Save you from the movie.
God knows that collector's edition would have cost much more than the difference. You know.
It was actually really close. It was like an $80 collector's edition.
But hey,
this movie was like $18.
Okay, so here's point two. Point two, which may be the only point that's valid. You can't say I bought the collector's edition of Final Fantasy 15, and that feels good.
I guess, yeah. But the case was kind of cool, though.
AZ, did you buy the collector's edition of Final Fantasy 15?
No.
Okay.
I got a regular digital version.
Ugh.
What, I
But
played
Kingsley,
it.
what's your expectations?
I watched it once and went, yeah, this sure is Square Enix attempting to make what a modern action blockbuster looks like.
No.
No.
Yeah. So my expectations are I'll think it's better than Advent Children, kind of all right at very rare points, but feel we'll hate it more than Advent Children because it's like a modern action blockbuster at points.
It's the Rogue One of Final Fantasy.
Oh, I'm going to shoot you. You can't be firing this good this early.
Bob,
We're gonna go watch
I'm
the
gonna
movie.
be very kind here, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so kind.
Save the dream.
I wish Rogue One was as good as Kingsglaive.
I kind of wish the opposite of Kingsglaive was as good as Rogue One, but hey, we'll watch it and see. Maybe I don't remember right.
All right, Bob, that's an important thing. We're going to find out. We got to pick this thread up.
The ending shot of Kingsglaive is Cloud showing up, poorly CG'd.
There's Mako.
And if you would like to see that and follow our commentary, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/GB podcast.
Oh, wow. I'll do that.
$5 or more a month. $5 or more a month gets you commentary tracks for cursed content movies. Cursed content by committee. That's our Patreon exclusive cursed content show.
Oh, that's
Early access to Mondo Cool, our Dragon Ball movie review podcast, armchair dev bonuses, and other benefits. That is patreon.com/GB podcast.
And I like that we don't say how early they get Mondo Cool anymore, so no one can catch me.
Dan tells the patrons that they can't catch him, and then Korean backdashes out of the way.
I have a shield, and I keep bringing it up as I fly backwards down the hallway.
Armchair Dev's after shows randomly appear all at once and punch you in the nose.
You get to hear me not be able to pick up the ball when it's thrown to me because there's a cookie in my mouth.
I've been waiting for months for people to hear it.
That was so good. It's sometimes you're like, where's the content? Well, actually, you know what? We don't deliver the content for the Patreon people. It was the people who were getting the free copy of Mondo Cool that were like, where is it? And it's coming.
And you're like, fuck you, give me money.
I mean, what was it? No, what I did that for, because I was like, I did that in the last week. What did I do it for? I did that for people being like, where's this picture of Bob from? And I'm like, if only you were like over on the main GB Patreon, you would know. And they're like, damn it.
You're taking me coming and going. Let's go watch the movie.
These transitions are so smooth.
And we're back. Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive is a bad movie. In this movie, you will be miserable as you remember what a horribly unfinished mess Final Fantasy 15 was, and what a good game Final Fantasy 13 Versus could have been if it hadn't been ruined. Also, Jesse Pinkman fights Nilo Angelo. So Dan, what did you think of Kingsglaive?
Kingsglaive was a fantastic film when I didn't have two assholes to remind me of how much shit doesn't make sense in the final fucking game compared to this movie. Devoid of any context or sort of ramifications for what occurs in this film, it is not as bad as Advent Children. And as such, I'll be giving it a -1 because it's kind of not great. It's got really bad editing choices. It's got some dialogue, but you know. And of course, they kill an important character early on, and they're like, sympathy? And I'm like, nah, dog, not here.
We only have empathy. It was a woman that died, so we felt nothing.
That's terrible. I mean, there was that scene where one of them was crying and said, if only she had a dick, she could have been alive right now.
It's true. That was a weird choice.
Bold.
Can't believe it made it in the movie.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive.
Are you trying to say that the people making this don't know how to write women?
It was really weird how she comes out and is like, my name's Fragile, but I'm not fragile.
Because, you know...
And then she gets shot into the atmosphere.
Because the staff before the game came out said that a lot of people were requesting us to have playable females in this, but it's all about the bros. And then they read another question about Cindy with her exposed breasts, and they said, well, she's a main part of the game. Seems hypocritical to ask for playable characters, but then also have this. We have a strong woman right here.
Good. That's wrong. The fucking balls. Absolutely incredible. Promote whoever said that.
I believe that was the media manager. Tabata looked like he was shot.
Fantastic.
That was on one of their wonderful ATR active time report live streams.
What a good choice.
Well, KZ, you got you popped up on my radar, so you get to go second.
This is better than Advent Children. I had a lot of fun talking about Final Fantasy 15 and looking at the cool action scenes. Overall, I think it's a better made movie. It feels like people that know what a movie is made it, whereas Advent Children kind of meanders a bit. So I have to give this a higher score, a 1.
Did this show in theaters?
No.
Yeah.
Super limited.
Wait, what?
Very limited.
What?
Wow.
It showed for a weekend.
Okay, so not for real.
No. It's even less real than Shin Godzilla and anime movies.
Maybe it did a week so it could be eligible for the Oscars, but I don't think so.
This got Sean being an Oscar, right?
Oh, Bob. You can go next while I recover insinuation that Kingsglaive would get an Oscar.
Visual effects.
This movie makes me think too much about Final Fantasy 15.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it bad.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it a -2 because of the incredible closeness to Final Fantasy 15 it is.
You're like standing in a kitchen where the burners are on. You're like, ooh,
but you didn't have to watch this to even score that.
I can feel the burn.
Well, look, KZ, it might not have been that bad, but then I did watch it and I was constantly thinking about it and talking about it and how everything in this movie doesn't line up with anything in that game.
Well, how do you even think of that? I didn't even talk about Final Fantasy 15.
We just have to sit there and look at all these characters. They don't even look like the characters in that game. And the king looks dead.
Yeah, because they really wanted fucking Cersei for Game of Thrones to be Luna for some fucking reason.
I don't know, man. This is also it's a wandering mess that keeps fading to black when it shouldn't. And the fight scenes aren't good except for like maybe 1 or 2
that
moments.
Means that movie's cheap and they just needed to end that render to start the next sequence.
I don't even know if it's that. They did speed ramp shit, but then they didn't motion blur it so it looks wrong.
I think back on Advent Children, I'm like, at least there were some parts where I was laughing with it, like with Reno and Rude.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't think of anything like that in this. This was just it wasn't Last Jedi bad, but it was just boring and made me think of things I didn't like. So
Okay.
So yeah, that's my review. -2.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give it a -2 too for basically the same reason as Bob. Like, if I had somehow watched this before I had played Final Fantasy 15 and scored it then, I'd probably put it higher than Advent Children. But unfortunately, this sequence of events requires I give it a -2.
Once again, your bias getting in the way.
Yes, I'm a subjective cuck.
All right.
Fucking games media.
Now let's start with our segments. We'll start with best character. Bob gets to go first because this is a small field and he needs his help.
Oh man, there are characters in this movie?
There are character-shaped things.
Oh man. I can't think of even one that I liked. I guess Nilo Angelo because he had some cool fight scenes.
Bob, his name is Glaucoma.
I'm going blind.
This is our best episode.
So Glucose is your favorite character?
Bob, tell us about Sucralose.
Yes, Luke, the Glock was really cool.
The Glock! He walks into the king's room and just unloads a gun.
He had knight armor that appeared out of nowhere and is better than the power of kings, and it was really dumb and terrible if you think about it for even 2 seconds.
Yeah, it really
but it looked cool.
More powerful than the power of the kings. That's a thing that happened. He must be the best character.
Yes, we're DBZ rules, right? Mm-hmm. He's the best. He's the strongest.
Bob, could Glaucoma kill Jiren?
Definitely. Did you see this guy?
Hey, yeah, that part where he was pinned by the car and half of his armor was gone, but he was still doing the synthesized voice. That was great.
Oh yeah, as I said, it's not a filter on his mouth. It's actually just a giant 2-inch claw up his ass.
Oh, 2-inch. I thought you said 2 hinge, and I was like, damn, that must be like 6 feet up there.
Oh my god! Glaucoma.
Dan, who's your favorite character?
His opposable claw hand up his ass. God. Bob stole my favorite character, so now I have to go with Arden. He has a cool wing and nice hair.
He stole his ring from freaking Final Fantasy Lightning Returns.
Yes, he did, but it made me laugh in that one scene because he's trying to act casual with it at a party.
It made no sense. He doesn't even have that in the game, I don't think.
I don't remember
He's
him.
the one-winged demon, Kino.
Yeah, I never saw that before until this movie.
KZ, that's not Kino. That's just lazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes Kino looks a lot like lazy.
Many of the things Tabata wanted to do. He wanted to lazily make his thing seem cool.
Yeah, I
don't press buttons.
I'm gonna be honest. Still gonna give it to Arden. Gonna give it to Arden. I don't like anyone in this movie. Bob took the person I was gonna choose because of the armor. So we're left with Arden, who has hair and a cool wing.
A fedora.
He sure does.
They didn't even edit it out in this version. It's totally different from the other fedoras I see in video games.
Yeah, he's very brave.
Yeah.
Of course you had to choose this. This is a character that's in the game that retained the exact same face and voice.
Yeah, which is it's shockingly rare.
Yeah. He's voiced by Reinhardt from Overwatch.
Excuse me, what?
I mean, he turns in a good
Darren
performance.
DePaul.
That's cool.
He elevates a character that is nothing to almost being something.
It's too bad they didn't just, I don't want to say this. I was like, he's just a bad version of Kefka, so they should have just remade Final Fantasy VI.
They should have just remade Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I know. It's a small task.
I mean, to be honest, Bob, they should.
I know.
But no, we're doing 7.
You remember that part in Final Fantasy 15 when the final chapter starts and they show that everything's fucked up and the text World of Ruin appears on the screen?
Yeah, it was blatantly trying to be Final Fantasy VI, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an oh shit moment, but players don't know that they're in the last 90 minutes of the game at the time.
Yeah.
All I really remember that scene is when Arden walks up to the other heroes while Noctis is being frozen, and then Arden owns all of the other dudes like Prompto and everybody, and it looked really bad.
I mean, when it popped up with
and how they survive.
When it popped up with the World of Ruin stuff, that just set me on the trail of thinking it was going to be more game. So like they immediately set me up for an expectation they would not deliver
all the characters back, but no.
Yeah. Instead, it's like clear, like you had clear like content railroading, like nonstop after that, and I'm like, oh my god.
You remember the part where one of the characters goes blind, but then off screen during a time skip, he learns how to cook blind?
Okay, so we're gonna have to keep moving these segments.
Yes, yeah, please. We are. We fucking flew off the rails into the giant content chasms that make up 15. Fuck you. My favorite character in Kingsglaive was God. There's no fuck this fucking movie. Was the Emperor of Nilfheim because he was in a scene that was okay.
His name is Eadolus Aldercapt.
Joe Biden, that's right. KZ, who's your favorite character?
God, you really fucking set me up for failure on this one. My favorite character was Luna Freya when she tricked that dude into putting on the ring to set himself on fire.
Okay, so your favorite character is Luna Freya. Got it.
Yeah.
She does actually do stuff in this movie. It's way more than she does in the game.
That is such a fucking sweeping condemnation of that entire game.
Yes.
What do you mean? She dies knocking down a wall for Noctis. I've been told by many people that is a fantastic thing, and I should care deeply about her because she did that.
That's
Are you sure they're people?
That's insane.
Move on.
Okay, anyway. We're going on to worst character now. I'll lead the charge. Luna Freya, her face is terrible.
We can say that about everyone.
Her face is only terrible because you have context.
No, her face genuinely is like the worst looking face in this movie. She has like weird live action battle angel Alita big eyes. Everybody else looks like a person and she looks like an alien.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember off the top of my head of exactly how Luna Freya looks in the game, so I don't get the uncanny valley effect from the fact that she looks off model. She just looks weird. There's just something distinctly weird about how she looks.
I don't remember what Luna Freya looks like.
I mean, she's in 2 cutscenes or something.
I'm pretty sure I could do a racial aggregate of a white female blonde-haired face, and I would get Luna Freya. Let me go get an algorithm that can do that.
Just find a picture of a blonde white girl in a wheat field, and it will look like Luna Freya.
No, that's Sonic 06. Or was she brown hair?
So
she was brunette, yeah.
She was
for
a
the
brunette.
sake of completeness, I have to, of course, post in here a picture of what she looked like in the film versus a picture of what she looked like in the game, because that would make sense, right? Let's see.
During the commentary, I said Britney Spears, but this screenshot, she has like a Paris Hilton thing going on.
What?
Like she looks like kind of like Paris Hilton in the screenshot you posted specifically.
Yeah, there's no difference here.
Might as well be the same person,
except for all of them.
Yeah,
except for every difference,
every single feature.
Except for all of it.
Do you think that's a major difference? I don't know, Dan. She had the same hairstyle, and that's all that I really look at. You know.
Well, everything leading up to this movie said that people kept going, they should design this Final Fantasy based on the Kingsglaive look. It doesn't look like anime.
Bob, who do you hate the most?
Oh, man, this is also hard. It's hard to feel anything about any of the characters in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now Bob knows how the Mr. Saint Nick episode felt.
Oh my god. I still remember some of that movie.
Let's see what happened in this movie. I guess their lady friend who dies because, oh my god, that's terrible. Just everything about the way they
yes,
treated her
bro.
was just awful. Just, oh yeah, we kill her off
Yep.
screen. And
She was one of the most used people in the media in pre-release.
oh yeah, I remember seeing lots of ads with her, and I was like, yeah, she's doing cool stuff. She's being a mage. I'm down for seeing a movie with this. And then no, she's dead.
She dies in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, the really fucked up part is when they find her body, and the Kingsglaive guy that's there's like, that's why she got paid 71 cents for every one of my dollars, and then he walked.
No!
It's weird how all this really bad stuff made it into that movie. I don't know how it got past any rating board.
KZ, you get to go third.
Least favorite character. Is there anyone particularly offensive that comes to mind? Oh God, that's bad. Emotions are hard. Ultros. I'll say Ultros because he doesn't look like Ultros. He looks like a weird squid thing.
That's close
does,
enough to me.
does.
I love Ultros.
Ultros is great. Why didn't I choose Ultros? Oh, right, I was letting Dan have it.
The Final Fantasy 7 should have had Ultros.
Didn't it? I guess not. Did he show up?
I don't
No, I think Ultra
Remake's
is
gonna fix it.
maybe. I mean, he's in 14, so they clearly love him.
He's in 12.
Yeah.
No, 12. 13.
I thought he was
13
also
too.
in 12.
He's probably in 12 too.
Let me look it up.
He's in
Yeah, he's in
13,
12.
I think
He's in
it's
12.
DLC.
Yeah. 13
yeah, he's
I believe.
13-2 DLC, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they remember.
But you can go last, Dan. Who do you hate the most?
Let's see. So Luna Freya was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ultros was taken. Who else was taken?
Who did I select again?
Did
oh,
you
right.
go?
Oh, Crow. Yeah.
Pro.
Yeah, Crow. This is
Oh my God.
it
Okay.
has never been this bad.
Okay, 1 second. Who the hell is that?
She's the lady that dies at the beginning. And it's like,
yeah.
Dies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We just had this conversation 4 minutes ago.
No, I know. I know her
do you wanna
character
pick
arc. I didn't
Glaucoma?
remember her name
You
because
want to pick glaucoma?
no, because once again, he would have been my favorite. But you know,
I almost selected Glaucoma without the suit because then it's like, yeah, you're the lame. Who cares? I don't
Yeah,
like
his
you.
name is Drautos. Need some help there? Or?
I'm just thinking, just trying to decide on a
Okay.
shade of gray. Just a vast.
You can pick the dude who
Ambiguous.
just is doing my British accent.
I was thinking about picking him. He's up there. He's in the run-ins.
There's also
Okay.
the resistance leader that's in this movie, I think.
He is. How about that dude who got set on fire who had a voice that didn't match his body?
Oh yeah, you mean the character who had a voice straight out of Gundam Wing?
Yeah.
It was really good, yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, why did this dude voices Natsu in Fairy Tail? Why did they get this guy for this movie? Fucking Todd Habercorn.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to choose that guy.
Top
Okay.
Hatercorn is pretty cool, though.
Because I noticed there's a lot of hatred for Chungus, but I like Chungus, so I'm not gonna say that dude.
Libertus.
What did I say?
God, he does look like a Chungus.
I think that guy's all right. I'm not gonna say he's bad. But
You got to play Final Fantasy 15 Comrades so you can hang out with him.
oh, cool. Sounds great.
Along with Hurley from Lost.
Are
What?
you fucking
Well, Dan, you
real?
get to go-
No, stop, Phil. You stop that transition. Hurley from Lost is in fucking Final Fantasy 15.
All right, so there's a character named Vive, right? He is an NPC that just hangs out, and I'm convinced it's just Hurley from Lost. Just some incredibly fat-looking dude who kind of looks like him.
Okay, well, it's impossible to look up anything on this game because no one cares.
So sad.
Good. Dan, you get to double up and tell us the best scene.
I'm thinking.
And
Yeah, I was just like, man, the yawning chasm of silence.
Yeah. No, it's I've got a couple choices. I'm gonna go ahead and say I would have gone with Ultros, but I'm gonna pass on it just because I think having a kaiju battle simultaneously with a cool super-powered person battle is pretty great. I'm going to have to say that fight at the end because of that, because that shot where he, stabs him in the chest and then the kaiju punches the emerald weapon, it's really good. I really enjoy that aspect. I thought the game would have some of that energy in it. And it's kind of devoid of it.
It does. That parkour sports. That's in there.
To the very end of the game.
The very end. It was cool for 2 minutes. You are correct.
The Matrix Revolutions also.
Yes. And I unironically loved and laughed at and thought it was really bad that moment. Like, just, it was, I was like, this is fucking amazing. I love this. This is a mistake. All at once.
The director, when asked, so is there like a special form Noctis does when he floats and is that strong? He goes, pause, Super Noctis.
Holy
shit. 2 weeks before the game launched.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's cool.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that was my favorite scene. It pushes it up over the rest just because I really like the giant knight fighting the weapon. That is really cool.
Yeah, no, the weapons are some of the coolest parts of this movie because there's some other better Final Fantasy games.
Exactly, Bob. Instead of reminding me about bad things about Final Fantasy 15, they remind me of good things about things that aren't Final Fantasy 15.
Very, very true. KZ, you get to go second.
I'll pick the scene where they're running away from the Imperials in the car, and then Luna jumps out, and then Nyx falls while in the car, and then starts driving on the side of a building because that was legitimately sick.
Oh no, that was our load-bearing Luna Freya.
Yes.
She was holding the whole car up. It was very funny.
It's hard to tell, but Luna Freya is over 300 pounds.
No wonder Noctis wants to marry her Bob.
Okay, the two of the best scenes were definitely taken. I'll just take the Ultros scene because it's Ultros. Come on. They get him stabbed on a tower. It's cool.
That was cool.
He doesn't talk, but still, he's purple and a giant octopus.
Yeah, you can't have everything or anything in Final Fantasy 15's case.
Right?
Feel you're just fucked now.
No, I'm not. My favorite scene is the scene where Nyx puts on the ring and yells, "Fuck you, Boomer Kings," and throws them the finger.
I wish that happened. He should then ask
where he puts on the ring just to shit talk the Kings.
Are you just gonna call us fucking boomers because we won't help you? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
that fucking chat meme. Oh no.
Now it's time for the worst scene.
Oh no.
KZ, you get to go first.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Well, there's such a huge plethora of things you probably can't remember.
Okay, I actually have a few. I have a few choices. So I'm poisoned for choice of which of these scenes is the most worstly implemented. Dan, thank you. Thank you. All of the missions for Vive, who is Hurley from Lost in my mind, are take photos across the world map. Doing all of them will take you 6 hours.
Oh,
yep.
No.
I did them all.
One of them is take a picture of magma in a volcano, but if it's at nighttime, they're like, it's too dark. I'm like, fuck you, it's lava. This game blows.
I can't see the lava.
Fucking Prompto, I'm gonna throw you in.
I need to know if the lava's good to cook my steaks on. It has to be in the light.
I don't know if I want to pick that or not. Yeah. That entire scene where Libertas has a fight with Nyx over saying Lucis killed Crow when that did not happen. And they just wanted to force him to leave to join another faction that was dropped in 2 minutes. And
that guy showed up and then got killed, and seeing that he died totally changed Libertas's motivation for some reason.
You could have just never had the conflict in the first place.
Yeah.
That would have been preferable, yes.
It sounds like you put in a lot of work and you could have made this movie 4 minutes shorter.
That would have been preferable, yes.
Are you making that an emote now?
Yes, Harley from Final Fantasy 15's an emote now.
It's next to on our fucking podcast server. It's next to your eyeball and the Olympus stone and Cusco.
And Cusco.
Well, I'm going to go second on the worst scene. My least favorite scene is the post-credit sequence.
You took
One
it.
because when KZ said that, I was like, we have to watch the entire credits now. And we did not have to do that, Dan. Thankfully, fast forward fucking through those. But then it's footage from the game that they slowed down to 24 frames a second, so it looks like shit. Also, it's a cutscene they cut out of the game.
Yeah, because it's using the CG that they made for the game, which there's only like 3 CG scenes in that entire game anyway.
I don't think that it even...
No,
like,
that was an
cut,
engine.
Yeah, like it doesn't even look like a cutscene from the game. It's
There was a part where they panned quickly and the hair looked decent enough for me to say that was probably CG, because hair in 15 looks atrocious.
It does, yeah. It's rough.
It's just...
They just had it hooked up to deep blue. It's fine.
Like the amount of, like, I guess, dithering on hair in that game is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, even in trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3 2 years before it came out, did not look as bad as some of those characters look now.
Yeah,
Yep.
There's a thing with how hair tech is done this gen where cranking up the resolution just makes it look better.
Okay. Luminous can't do that.
Well, now Dan gets to go with his least favorite scene.
Now, the post-credits thing wouldn't have made my list because it's nothing.
The whole movie was nothing, Dan. Is we've all sat here trying to think of any scene to even have feelings about.
I'm going to go ahead and say the beginning because it's so lazy. It has so many cuts. It has so many fades. It's all narrated over. Yeah. Like, it's so clumsily told as a story. I'm going to say the opening sequence is just so bad because of it. It's just nonstop
it builds the world, like it establishes these are the 3 main nations we're talking about. Here's the war. This is why it happened. This is all this. This isn't.
Yeah.
So that's just a terrible way of doing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a mess.
Yeah, but
like, legitimately,
game.
like I would have selected that too.
Like, I make fun of Destiny for the fact that they, like, and you know, other people have made fun of it for this as well. They forgot to make up the names. Like, every proper noun in Destiny sounds like a placeholder name, but calling the Empire the Empire, it's just...
Well, it has a name. It's the Empire of Niflheim.
Okay. Everyone just calls it the Empire. Anyway, Niflheim. Anyway, the opening sequence is just really fucking bad. Like, it's just... The storytelling in it is so fucking clumsy. Yeah, I'm going with that. Cause yeah.
It just made me want that opening fight to be in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, the giant battle's neat. If it didn't have 9 crossfades, I would agree.
You know, like you play as like Prime Regis fighting this big guy would be a nice setup.
Yeah, he means fighting glaucoma.
Yeah. Because that was a part of the opening sequence. And then they cut to that thing.
You okay there, Casey?
You know, that thing.
The weapon from Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah. Then they cut to the weapon, and then the Cerberus and all the other demons they fought, and then the giant tornado that sucked people in.
And then disappeared for some reason.
Yeah, the mobile game ad.
We are under fucking attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Bob gets to go last.
All right.
I forgot I went. I'm so relieved.
All the prime suspects for worst scene have been selected. I'm gonna select the scene where the last time we see Crow before she dies, where they leave her at the street corner, and then it's implied that she died right exactly there, like 5 seconds after Nyx leaves. He didn't notice.
There wasn't a penis there to protect her.
That's called foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing how bad the game will be?
I guess.
That's the whole movie, yeah.
How do you manage to fridge characters worse than Final Fantasy 15 did?
Oh man, I
guess they fridged Luna Freya. I was like, I forgot she existed in the 30 seconds since we stopped talking about her.
I thought he was talking about the old man who died off screen.
Jared?
You have a lot more to worry about him than you do Luna Freya, honestly. He built a grave. You have to deal with his sad grandson.
There's more emotional time being taken over the death of Jared, who is a caretaker.
The Tony Hawk model, yes.
Yes,
the Tony Hawk model.
Yeah.
It is
where he claps and then he fist pumps.
That shit is weird. Can I change my choice, by the way, for scene? Because I came up with a worse scene.
Okay, sure, I'll allow it. Wait, not until Bob goes. Bob has to go. Oh, he already.
I just. God!
This movie did some shit.
This movie's hard to remember.
This podcast is hard to remember too. Worst scene, bar none, has to be when they rip off the Versus 13 party scene and made it worse. Because I remember getting excited in trailers for this really nice party scene that they set up where the characters meet each other and it's actually, they're talking about things that are interesting. And then they brought it here with characters that weren't there at all. And it wasn't cool at all.
It was bad.
Anytime 15 stuff reminds me of or tries to do versus shit, which they try to do it all the time, it just feels like you took all the soul out of it. You stole someone else's work and are trying to pass it off as a really cool fan service thing.
Badly.
It's like, imagine a Star Wars movie existed, right? But it got canceled. But then you try to reference it for fan service pops.
Yeah.
Well, we survived the segment.
So, Bob, what's your least favorite scene?
Don't do that, KZ.
Bob, what's your least favorite scene?
I just said it.
Bob, what's your least favorite scene?
He said it. He said it. It's the one where Crow dies.
Phil, what's your least favorite segment?
This whole podcast.
Don't we still do that part where we have
you can't
the
pick all
comparison?
of something.
Compare between Final Fantasy 7 and this.
That's the whole thing.
We kind of did that when we kept saying, "Yeah, this is better than that. That is worse than that." I don't know anymore.
Yeah, we got to solidify it one more time.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay,
it's great.
Yeah.
We did Game of the Year, and now we have to do this.
Yeah, okay. So Phil will just ask us.
Dan, better or which one's worse?
Advent Children's worse. Maybe if that story had a more active plot that was more interesting. And it went places, it would be better because there are certain things to like about the combat sequences, even if they do look a bit amateur in how the animation is done. Like it looks floaty and not cool. Kingsglaive is better than Advent Children by 1 point.
AZ, which one's better?
Kingsglaive is better because it feels more like a functional film. There are so many parts in Advent Children that were genuinely boring, and the dialogue was so unnatural and stilted. And also, there's no child part in this movie in Kingsglaive. That saved it a lot for me.
Bob.
Kingsglaive is worse.
Why is that, Bob?
Does it have anything to do with its source material?
It has a lot to do with its source material. Also, there were any moments in Advent Children where I felt joy. There wasn't a single one of those in this movie.
I had Ultros.
Even Ultros is tainted. I don't know.
I enjoyed Ultros.
I mean, I can't even stand up for Advent Children being a good movie in any regard, but it has anything that I like about it.
I also have to say Kingsglaive is worse. Partially, the bigger reason is, like Bob said, I felt joy at parts in Advent Children. And this was just oatmeal start to finish. Even the fight scenes is like, I guess this might be cool, but I don't care about anything. I don't care about it even remotely. It's action figures bouncing together, but at least Advent Children was action figures I recognized bouncing together.
Yeah, because even if you are a big Final 15, like these aren't even Final Fantasy 15 characters.
What are you talking about? There's the
I'm
king.
nicer to 15 than I should be.
There's the
I
king,
feel
and there's
this way.
Arden. There's
Arden doesn't fight.
Aeolus Aldercapt.
Are you having a seizure?
That's the name of the emperor. Aeolus Aldercapt.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy Advent Children's fight scenes, but I'll take them over these. Like, there's something really plain
True,
about
no
them.
scene touched that chase fight scene thing.
That was cool.
sick.
Yeah, nobody threw a
Also,
motorcycle at anybody.
Also,
Surprised
Advent Children gave us,
Nomura led to better action scenes. I'm very shocked.
gave us a great remix of One Winged Angel that was like a rock version.
Weirdly enough, the emperor's name is a lot more pronounceable in fucking Japanese, because instead of his first name being Aeolus, it's Idora. That's it. 3 syllables,
Idora.
very clearly very clear vowel sounds. Oi. Oi, oi, oi. So we're torn?
We're torn.
Well,
Too bad.
too bad. I guess that's how that goes.
That's how it goes.
Hold on. I think we can figure this out. Bob, what's your least favorite scene?
Weeds covers the gun.
We just got to watch them both all over again.
I'm gonna
and then
kill
we
you.
Can reassess.
I'm gonna go ahead and say my least favorite podcast is this.
Just put a fucking poll and let them decide. We're dead.
No, I'll break the lock. I'm gonna give it to Kingsglaive I'll let Kingsglaive win and change my vote solely because they didn't release a second version that made the movie worse.
And
Give
you
them
know
time,
for a
Phil.
fact there's no way it's happening.
Give them time.
Bob, it's been time. It's been almost 4 years.
Not long enough
There's
for
a difference.
Kingsglaive.
There are people that like
1.5.
Advent Children. Plenty.
Let me look it
I
up.
like it if we give them more. That's all bad.
Yeah, Bob, we're approaching 4 years later. They are not fucking making Kingsglaive
Kingsglaive
complete.
1.5 is coming.
No.
It's going to lead into Kingsglaive 2.
Okay, I will accept it if it's like Mortal Kombat complete. So Kingsglaive complete with a K. 25 minutes of Libertas scenes.
Yeah, of course they had. That's the least developed element of the plot. It all has to be about the resistance.
That means it will be a 2 hour and 20-minute movie.
See, this is how I know you two, you are not functioning on the level of maliciousness you need to call the shot. It's not.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not Libertas. It's the lady who gets off, and we have tons of forced flashbacks in the middle of other scenes.
Oh, her ghost is haunting all of the other characters.
And then that resistance guy that dies immediately without doing anything, he breaks a pipe and water sprays onto some demons.
Oh, that would be good. That'd be really hilarious. I would lose it if they had the exact
the water
scene.
lands on Ravis and puts out his burning hand. So, Bob, what's your least favorite scene?
Please stop.
So that's majority vote for Kingsglaive. I guess Kingsglaive is a better movie than Advent Children. That doesn't mean you should watch either.
Please don't.
We've learned a valuable lesson.
At the very least, don't watch the complete version of Advent Children.
No, just don't watch Advent Children.
Maybe you should just watch the fight scenes on YouTube.
You should probably just go watch a
Yeah.
real movie.
No, I'm
Just
sorry,
the thought.
Dan. We're in nerd territory.
This video was brought to you by the power of the legendary GigaBoots executive producers: Vincent Pover, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dryzart, Red Blaze 27, and Texas Man joins Smash. Thank you for lending us your power, our executive producers. And also these guys. If you want to become powerful like our executive producers, then head on over to www.patreon.com/gigaboots today.